Only other thing I wanted to say is maybe that needs to go to G4 for Glenn. Just a little idea.
So one of the key things in life is to recognize you married up. And I am fully aware of that. And so I just want to thank everybody for coming, and I particularly, again, want to reiterate the deep appreciation I have for all students. Students who are in high school, students are in college, students are later in their careers and are still students. And in fact, I think we all are lifetime learners. And so thank you all for being here. This place is awesome. If they hadn't kept moving me along, I'd still be playing cornhole in the virtual reality room. Listen, Vernon, Mr. Green, thank you. What a vision you've had. And thank you for not being deterred. And thank you for loving your children and being engaged in their lives to such a degree that you put on your uniform and you went in and you got involved. And so bless you. It's just an amazing story. Superintendent Thomas, thank you for your leadership. That's just extraordinary. President Gullickson, thank you for your leadership. And Germanna is a special place. There is more full life education going on than any place in the Commonwealth. And so thank you for all that you do. General Crenshaw, thank you for being here. For those of you that don't know, Craig Crenshaw is our Secretary of Veteran and Defense Affairs. And we're going to talk about the fact that Mr. Green brought something unique to all of this, and that was a love for his country and service for his country. And this company reflects that commitment, not just to America, but to Americans. And so thank you. And I'd like to actually, we've said a lot of thank yous. I'd like to thank my friend Yesli Vega for being here. And thank you. Yesli and I have a deep friendship, and she serves as a supervisor and spends a lot of time working with law enforcement because, well, she is one, and spends time thinking long and hard about how to bring together various elements of a community in order to make a change. And so thank you for coming, Yesli, and supporting us. And I think what all of this represents is just a continued recognition that the efforts of Virginians to uplift and empower our communities is necessary. Not just nice, but necessary. And so G-Cube Community Services does just that. And that's what's so exciting. I love the mission. And if you haven't really dug into this mission about restoring and inspiring and empowering the family unit to improve lives and strengthen communities, a vision to inspire change through people. Through people. This is how we, in fact, see great transformation, is when we work through people in our communities, focusing on the mission rather than self. How hard is that sometimes? We were just talking about that in the hallway. It's so hard to remind ourselves to focus on the mission, not self. And when we do that, extraordinary things happen. Just extraordinary. And I think that is at the heart of something that I believe has been let loose in such an extraordinary way, which is the spirit of Virginia. And the spirit of Virginia is strong, and the spirit of Virginia is flowing across the entire Commonwealth. And it is so much fun to be here and celebrate that spirit right here in G-Cube Community Services. The story you heard from Mr. Green, it's an extraordinary history. One founded again in a parent loving his child. One founded again in a member of a community loving his community, and one seeing a much bigger role for students than just being learners, but being doers. And I do want you to know, Mr. Green, that in fact we have now funded in the budget that I signed back in June, an extensive apprenticeship and internship program that in fact partners with extraordinary businesses and helps fund them in a partnership way. And so afterwards, Secretary Crenshaw will be happy to introduce you to his friend, Secretary Slater, who runs that. But that's really important because we believe strongly that this model of doing is so important. This model of recognizing it's not about a degree, it's about skills, it's about experience, it's about what we just heard from Joshua and Logan. It's about getting fully engaged in feeling that you have purpose every day and you're accomplishing something. That is awesome. So all of the many, many accolades that we can hoist upon G cubed actually are supported also by the accomplishments. Prior to the pandemic, there were 12 area schools that were engaged, monthly STEAM events, community service activities that supported 200 children with Stafford County Sheriff's Department, as we heard about. And that all happened at the Stafford Hospital, which is, again, a place to bring people together around what it means to both serve and contribute. And so what the work that is done here does is it sets a stage. It sets a stage not just for all of you, but for all of you and your networks and your friends and your relationships, to spread the word, to, in fact, go forth and multiply. So thank you for that. You'll see what G Cube does all across this community. And let me just highlight a couple of them. We talked about what's going on in Stafford County schools, but I just want you to know that the C4 Plus program didn't just turn up on the front of a desk. It took 4 years of collaboration. That's investment. That's effort. That's working at night when everybody else is watching their latest binge series. You were working, developing something for other people. The story of the Extraordinary Young Minds program is exactly that. It's extraordinary. And the fact that you're able to work together in order to bring science and technology and engineering and arts and math together with students who have a passion. And that passion is what translates into both learning and opportunity. We've seen the importance of that kind of mixture of ingredients as it in fact represents something that our administration feels so strongly about. That in fact these kinds of programs, and we've seen them at Code RVA in Richmond, and we've got a lab school on the drawing board, which, oh, by the way, I hope you'll be part of. But these are the kinds of collaborations and the kinds of both innovation and flexibility within the public school system that we think in fact exemplifies the future of education in the Commonwealth of Virginia. A couple things that we haven't talked about yet. G Cube Community Service also founded something called Dare to Dream. And there's nothing that is more in touch with my own journey than daring to dream. Daring to dream I did about being an astronaut. And I was a kid who was washing dishes and taking out trash when I was 15 years old. But I dreamed of being an astronaut. And so I thought, well, through basketball, I can get a college scholarship and be an engineer. They didn't tell me that at 6'6", 230 pounds, I'm not going up in a rocket. But it doesn't mean I didn't get a chance to work on them. And that was my dream. And so through Dare to Dream, which takes an entrepreneurship program and provides emerging business owners the kind of coaching and mentorship so that folks who are dreaming can find subject matter experts, can find that coaching and chase their dream. I also had a chance to, as I said, excel in virtual reality. And for those of you who were watching it, there was no excelling going on. But Access VR, which is this amazing partnership with G Cube Community Service and the Virginia Innovation Partnership Corporation and Germana, established the nation's first immersive learning lab for specialized workforce development right here in Virginia, right here. I mean, that is, in fact, stepping outside of what is normally done into something that changes lives. It's amazing, just amazing. And yes, we already heard about our esports champions. And I have to say, I'm looking forward to forming a governor's team and competing next time. And I will be a coach, not a player. I will be a coach, and you have an extraordinary coach as well. And so thank you for all that you do. At the end of the day, this is about talent, and this is about aspirations, and this is about community, and this is about vision, and this is about commitment. And most importantly, this is about believing in each other, and believing that together we can in fact do more than we could do on our own. So Vernon, thank you for believing. Thank you for believing in your community. I look back And the contributions from G3 Community Service extend even beyond what we've talked about today. During the pandemic, when there were fewer people wandering around here, what does G3 do? They say, we can help feed people. We can help feed people, and let's work with the food bank, and let's get meals to families. They collaborate with the sheriff's office in order to make that happen, because there's another partnership that had real strength in it. And so because of all that you've done, you of course have been recognized. And the Stafford community actually honored you with the SWAM Community Impact Business Award. Awards are important. They recognize what's going on that is worth discussing and acknowledging. And I think behind it is the work that I think is inspired and grounded in the love of God and the love of neighbor, and the fact that together we can do special things. So, friends, here we are gathered to acknowledge an extraordinary organization. It's doing extraordinary things. And so I just want to first say thank you. I want to say thank you for being here. Vernon is a special person. And it's not about him, and he knows this, it's about his team. And he wouldn't be here without just an extraordinary team that works with him in all these ways. Yeah. Thank you. I know. And he understands what it means to bring people together and get more out of them than they would get on their own. I think he might have learned that by serving his country and recognizing that the team, 20 years in the Army, was better because they worked together. But I think it's that love of service and that love of country that, in fact, he continued after 20 years to come back and serve the community. And today, G Cubed employs 38 people. 38 people to Stafford in the Stafford County headquarters. And 30% of them are veterans. 30% of them are people who, in fact, first served our country and then came back to serve their community. So G Cubed is a V3 company, which means Virginia values veterans. What is a V3 company? There's 2,000 V3 companies across the Commonwealth, and it is a family of organizations, of companies that are dedicated to hiring, training, and retaining veterans as part of their valued workforce. And so I, on top of everything else, want to thank you for that opportunity to so many veterans in the Commonwealth of Virginia, Vernon. So thank you. Finally, before I conclude, I want to thank everybody in the room today for showing up. And I want to thank you for showing up every day for our kids. At the end of the day, our greatest resource in the Commonwealth of Virginia, in the future of not just our Commonwealth, but our nation, will be built by all of you. And the fact that there are those of us that I guess can't call ourselves kids, although we might be kids at heart, who show up every day in order to partner with you on that journey is an extraordinary statement. And so thank you all. Thank you all. You also know that you have complete support from the governor's office, from our General Assembly, and I know that Tara Durant fundamentally will represent you all extraordinarily well in her work all the time, from our cabinet with the secretary and everyone else. We are with you. And so with that, it is Suzanne and my honor to present something to G Cubed Community Services. Let's see if I can take this. So, we made a commitment that we would donate our salary as part of our service to the Commonwealth. And so this quarter, it is our privilege, truly an honor, to have the opportunity to be here with you, to fully appreciate all that goes on here, and to donate our salary of $43,750.